Hello, what's up you beautiful people, and welcome again to my review channel. And today we will be looking at the Mclaren Honda MP4 31 from the 2016 Bahrain Grand Prix. It was released by Spark and it's a resin model. This is the number 47 car driven by Stoffel Vandoorne, my countryman, who made his debut back then, replacing Spaniard Fernando Alonso, who had a massive crash at the previous Grand Prix in Australia. The Belgian made a very good impression, out-qualifying his teammate Jenson Button and finishing 10th in the race, scoring the first point for McLaren in the 2016 season. The model comes in a standard McLaren Spark packaging with nothing too special, and I'll remove it so we'll have a better view of the model. So here we go, and I'll first mention that I've added Chandon branding to the model, as these decals were not provided by Spark, and for the Bahrain Grand Prix they used the star logo instead of the Chandon wording on the sides of the cockpit, as alcohol advertising is prohibited there. I've also had to remove and replace the Sensodyne decals on the cockpit sides, since they were applied very crooked, but Spark have very kindly provided me with new logo decals to replace them. But on to the actual model then, and we'll start at the front, and more specifically at the front wing. And it looks really detailed and quite refined. The cascades of the front wing, they are very nicely done. And I really like the aluminium colored slot gap separators at the front. And the winglets are also very refined and very nice. And the end plates are cut open, which you can't really see here, but I promise you they are. And also very special, something I never realized before, in the nose there's a little piece of detail I never noticed. So on the real car there's a little gap or a little slot in the front wing supports. It's very nice. The rest of the front looks really nice with the holes on the top of the bulkhead and the refined antennas and the nice carbon layered suspension. The wheels, they look good with the NK rim branding, which is an extra that I always appreciate. The wheel nut as well is very elaborate and is in different colors on both sides, and they look very good. So red on the left and gold brownish on the right side. And I also really like that metal colored strut connecting the T-tray. So if we look at the cockpit further, the first thing you notice, of course, is the dreadful helmet. The colors and design is good, but the shape is just not right, and Spark just keeps using the same old shape over and over again. And the rest of the figurine is very good, and I also really like the flappy paddle gearbox. You can't really see it maybe on the picture, but they're like little flappy paddles behind the steering wheel. And the steering wheel itself is also textured, which is really cool. And for my model, the T-cam on top is a bit crooked, but I guess that can be fixed. The shape of the Coke bottle is also really nice, and the rear is very detailed. The suspension is carbon layered, as is the floor of the car, and the whole rear and the rear assembly looks really good and really refined. You have the DRS system, and the exhaust exits in combination with a monkey seat, and that's very nicely replicated. So the DRS and then the monkey seats underneath, hanging over the exhaust. One minor lesser point is the way they colored the red wheel nuts on the rear. It looks like as if they splashed a red pen around, and if you see on the other side, it's much better, the golden one, for some reason. Yeah, the color of the car looks spot on, and that deep dark anthracite just looks right. The decals look clear and refined, and the seams are not too visible. The only thing, of course, is the decals that I had to replace due to the weird placement on Spark's part. So yeah, overall, for me the helmet kind of ruins the model for me, but since there's no real alternative yet, it'll do. It's a shame because the car itself is really good, but I just can't wait for the 1/18 version, because they usually have normal helmets and better helmets, or even the Mini Champs version in 1/43 as well, which usually have better helmets as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like or a comment and subscribe. Cheers!